I did like you talking about the adults being in charge, because Peter Dutton did make a comment.
That's a brilliant one.
A lot of play about the Prime Minister being a child in a man's body.
Let's have a listen.
He's a man with a mind still captured in his university years. He's a child in a man's body, and he should be a Prime Minister for our country instead.
I like that a lot. Man-child Albo.
Yes,
Airbus Albo out, man-child Albo in.
It's a great line.
His behaviour of late has been, and even when it comes to The Voice, because he thrust that upon the nation. He was so divisive, so destructive. The nation made it clear we do not want that. And yet he's still entertaining treaty and truth-telling. So he doesn't seem to comprehend that when the Australian public give a clear mandate, a clear direction, he's obliged to follow it. And I hope that he learns it. But then, you know what? It's not just him. Can we talk about some of the Liberal state
We will
leaders?
in a second, Rita. I just want to quickly play, James, this bit, which was Albo last year actually complaining about people using memes and childish things, which Labor are now doing. Have a listen to him a year ago complaining and calling it misinformation. Have a listen.
Media platforms have a responsibility to make sure that misinformation isn't got out there. I noticed today, for example, on the way up here, they've removed various sites that were up containing fake images of myself superimposed on other people. That's the sort of thing that is going on social media. Social media has a responsibility to do the right thing here.
I mean, there you have it, all in one package. That's misinformation in Albo's mind. Mocking Albo is misinformation. But he, James, can go and mock everybody, three-eyed fish, all a bunch of lies. It is unbelievable the extent to which the hypocrisy of Labor is on view in this nuclear debate, James.
Ron, I've got to say, earlier you mentioned that there are stupid voters, right? They might believe some of the scare campaign. Well, if they're not politically engaged, they're probably watching The Simpsons, and they would know automatically that Labor have got all these memes from The Simpsons. They produced the three-eyed fish. So I think even the people not politically engaged will be sharp enough to realise, hang on a second, this Labor scare campaign, we've seen this before. This is from The Simpsons. No one's going to buy it. And by the way, Dutton calling Albanese a man-child is an insult both to children and to men. So that's a bit rich.
But now we mentioned stupid people. I think, Rita, this is your cue to jump in with the stupid people within the Liberal Party who haven't quite got on board.
Yeah, we talked about Albo not learning from the Voice referendum. It's quite clear that the Victorian Liberal leader, John Pisuto, the Queensland Liberal leader who is about to become Premier. But
the bloke who put fool into Christofouli. Yes, that bloke.
He seems determined to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. They are amongst Liberals across the country who have showed zero party discipline, showed zero vision, zero political nous, in immediately poo-pooing this plan. And if the Australian people vote for it, then the coalition has a mandate. So forget about whatever reservations you might have because you're spineless and you've got no vision and you don't want to actually propose anything. You just want to be a shadow of Labor and never ever get elected. I am so thoroughly sick of these state Liberal parties who are, I think, as much to blame for what we are seeing in some of those states. And you look at Victoria, it has just got record debt, the biggest debt in the country, just so much pain and misery for Victorians. And the Liberals own a piece of that, a big piece, because they have never been a viable opposition. And you've not given those Victorians a choice, really, when it comes to elections. And this is the state we're in. And they seem determined to follow that. We saw it with The Voice. They refused to come out and oppose that because they were so scared because all the institutions and all the celebrities and all the, Qantas and everyone was supporting The Voice and they didn't want to be on the wrong side of history. Well, you were on the wrong side of history. 61% of Australians said no, including a majority in every single state Only the ACT voted yes, and they seem to be just repeating that history, I think, with this debate, which is also really consequential for the country.